right. Good morning, everyone. Hope everyone is having a good morning thus far. Let me know if the sound is okay. You guys should be able to hear me okay. I see the bar moving. Girl hasn't walked back in yet. Every time I hit go, she tends to come in here. Sounds good. Thank you, Ernest. I appreciate it. All right. So, big mover of the morning is the pound. Pound is getting slaughtered pretty much across the board still. Pound dollar down 102 now. Euro pound is up 101, which is a huge move in that one. Pound yen down 88. That one is stabilizing. It's kind of a weak pound, weak yen right now. Euro dollar up a bit, 51 in 24 hours, not bad. Dollar yen 18 is kind of more or less flat. Dollar Swiss down 56 is actually a pretty decent mover there. Dollar CAD up 64 is good. Aussie dollar down 19. That one's kind of whipsawing back and forth there, right? So, for the most part, pretty decent move before FOMC later on today. We have G20 meetings right now. So G20 meetings are always interesting. I will say they are more than just a little infuriating right now. Some of the headlines already coming out are like, really? Like, really? Like things like this. Obviously she's talking about, it's also going to give Janet Yellen, right? Will also give a chance to press for a global minimum tax on corporate profits. So talk about negotiating, or not even negotiating, but talk about having great ideas from a point of weakness, right? U.S. companies are at a disadvantage. So you know what? We should have a corporate tax on the rest of the world. So, it's fair. It's like, come on, Janet. Really? Can't believe she's doing this already. It's like, seriously? Like, wow. China's going to be like, ha ha, they need to make it fair. Ha ha is what everybody's going to be saying. Way to go, Janet. But we should see some more headlines coming out of G20 this morning. I haven't really seen anything else on here yet. Negative interest rates, Evans again. So yeah, we'll see more coming out of it. But look at this. How China's digital currency push can boost fintech and yuan's global presence. Yep, because we're asking for something to make our companies fair, right? We'll keep economic growth in a reasonable range. Yeah. So yeah, they're rolling. And we're like, hey, can we have a world tax, please, so it can be fair for our companies? It's like, no. So yeah, that's how we're getting left behind. Just so you guys know, in case you're wondering, IVPMI comes in about 20 minutes for the CAD. It's expected to be a little bit better. We'll see. Then I'll probably move the dollar CAD around a little bit. Crude oil obviously comes in. We saw the API number. We had it up over here. James didn't post it, but in the overnight, it came in as a larger than expected downdraw of 2.6. Expected 1.4, which kept oil prices ahead. So the expectations are for a downdraw of 1.4. All right. So we'll see how this comes in. Like I said, oil's been moving around pretty decently this morning already. And like I said, it's not this one. I wouldn't have covered that one red, but it was still a miss. So, I'd expect it to be a little bit more. We'll see how much. I think next week will be the bigger total. I think a lot more people are traveling right now than what the expectations will be for next week. I know a lot of people traveling this week, which is kind of crazy. They were like, spring break, we out of here. We're tired. Many of them not necessarily vaccinated either. So we will see how that turns out. And then we have FOMC at 2 o'clock today, right? So FOMC, obviously more hawkish is good for the currency. I don't know. So all the minions are speaking, and I say minions because they're, Powell is kind of the, he is Groot, right? Or Gru, not Groot. Groot is the tree. Gru, right? So Evans is talking about high home costs are particularly due to a shortage in availability. Yeah, people are not selling their homes because they're really unsure. We have Evans or Kaplan talking about how we're still in crisis. We need aggressive aid, right? But we're unsure when we can pull that support back. But yet we're going to be down to 4% unemployment this year. Yeah. Okay. Not sure how this works, right? So, as I said, the minions are making all kinds of headlines. Whether any of them are true or not, we'll have to see inside FOMC. We may get some morning movement. Excuse me. Yeah. They're minions, right? They find the evil overlord that they serve, but they're I'm telling you, they're talking a lot more than they normally talk. Um, but anyway, we'll see with this. I'm wondering if we're gonna get some like Fast and Furious movement this morning, and then if it will kind of die down until 2 o'clock and make end of the day crazy. Um, but I don't know. I mean, like I said, I think all eyes are going to be focused on, the G20. I think that's going to matter globally. We know that the U.S. is ahead on recovery. The U.S. and China right now are leading recovery, which is no surprise. I mean, it's China was kind of the first area, right, that saw it. So again, it makes sense that they would be the first one to recover. But you're seeing kind of a disproportionate kind of distribution of vaccines. So you are seeing, I don't know. You're seeing vaccines not go to countries equally. So you're seeing the most recovered nations are the ones that have the most vaccine coverage right now. So yeah, it's kind of a whole nother ironic situation that let's take from the rich and give back to the poor. Except when it comes to vaccines, then we're going to keep all the vaccines, right? Yeah. So that's what we're dealing with right now. But yeah, I'm very curious to see if they start getting hawkish. Like I said, those non-farm payroll numbers from last week are really, really hard to dispute that we needed additional help. And at least in the we need aggressive help, right? Like it doesn't make sense. Like we blew the numbers out of the water, unless they were a complete lie and they were totally, just made up numbers and they get reversed all the way back down. I just don't see how. Excuse me. So I ate something weird 2 days ago and I've had like stomach pain from it. So I'm like, you know what? Let me take like 2 days off from coffee. And I can tell you, I am definitely feeling it. Caffeine talking out. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I'm definitely going through the caffeine withdrawal. So yeah. So let's dive right into the charts. Like I said, I want to dive in. And actually, let me see. Let's see what they're talking about the pound. It's curious to see if there was any articles written. Profit taking in the pound continues near here. A little bit, not tons. And we got 58 long, 42 short, so it's not really out of whack there. It's not too crazy. Actually, it was March 30th. Yeah, it's not nuts, but it's definitely down for the day. All right, so let's go across and we'll start with currencies. Let's go down. We'll start here with Aussie. All right, so we're looking for a down draw on this one. We're trying to figure out which area is going to bounce off of. We'd like the 76.80 better. Yesterday we were sitting right in this level right here. All right, it ended up coming through basing, and again, pretty noticeable it is more or less expected to break. We talked about 1, 2, 3, and number 4 was the hit. It kind of went through. It didn't go all the way up though. As I said, 76.81 was the area we're looking to get short. It did put a decent top in there. I do kind of like that one. If you move to the side, this is one of those ones that I do like. So it is a level that we would definitely look for later on down the road. And again, there may have been something on one of the smaller time frames we missed on it, but I do like that one. It was kind of a nighttime zone, so not necessarily the best, but I do like how I love that candle formation. I like how it was one candle, and I like the response back to the downside. So it looks like the orange level here is pretty much done, although it did come and give us it did give us a Harry Potter where it came, dropped, and went lower. So, down here, this is an expectable area for it to turn. This should have been your profit targets on any short. This is the last time we had a major rally higher. And it did. You can see it came down and touched it. And at this point, I think it'll stabilize. I wouldn't be surprised. Let's see. How much more does this one have to go to the downside? About 22 pips. So I would say, again, we know this is an old area. We've already hit it. It wasn't an original. It was actually a previously broken level, or a previously violated level. It did put a new low in here and then kind of test itself, right? So I would say there's a couple of areas I'd look for moves. I do feel that I just have this, I don't know. I feel like today they are going to mention dollar strength or something that provides dollar strength. I feel like, I don't know. A lot of this dollar strength we've seen already. I'm hoping this is not the FOMC note, that it's setting up for, kind of a counterplay for the dollar today. I don't know. I'd really like to see this get back down to some of these lower levels down here. Like I said, this is not necessarily the freshest of levels, but maybe even something like, I mean, there's definitely a level there. I don't know. Like, I feel like, oops. I don't know if this would be a far reach today, but like, these are some of the levels I'd be looking for, these areas of basing right to the downside. They're quite large moves though. I mean, it's like 51, 81. We're not getting there from now to FOMC, but I'd really like to figure out a place for us to, find like a catapult higher, right? But I feel like dollar strength is coming in later on today, so I feel like this will push us lower into one of these levels. As I said, this is a zone. I don't know if this is going to be a holdable zone at this point. We'll see, but it could be an area that we get long before FOMC with some type of a surprise. And as I said, I feel like the news today would be more dollar strength, but I feel like that's what the market is also feeling because so many of these things are heading to the downside, um, you know, with the dollar right now. So yeah, it's a little level right now as well. Got to chunk through here and here on the way down. Yeah, but I would say here or here, like either of these two could be little bounces for later on today. I don't even have it up yet. Let me see. Let's see. This has kind of been like the crazy week for me. Two of my coaches are out, and the coach of the younger rec team is out. So I was running practice last night for two teams at the same time. Thankfully, I had a parent step in and give me a hand. Let me see. Call spreads, Aussie. Let's see. Weekly, where are we at? 76.01. There is a 76.05 weekly in the Aussie dollar, right? That may be something that we look at, a 76.01, depending on where the spike is. We may be able to get it for low risk, right? A couple days left on that one. The daily call spreads I wouldn't mess with just because they end at 3 o'clock today, so there's not enough time. Let me see over here. Oof, there's a 76.05, which I don't think will hold. And then it's a 75.55. Oh, that one is not bad. A 76.55, which should be right there. Actually, let's do this. 75.55. Right there. So that's not a bad one. If we can get spiked into this level here, that's not a bad one for a knockout, right? Interesting knockout position there. And again, that may be decent if we can come down and then play a counter trend to what we've seen in the dollar. That want to watch later. All right, so let's turn over the Aussie yen. So the Aussie yen, we expected this to come down. We're looking for a little bit more basing. It ended up coming down. It ended up doing the failure to go higher here, and it bounced lower, lower, lower. Grab the basing level here, and again, touch. I would assume that this one would not hold again. Still waiting for this one to come down to 83.51. I think that's the last decent level. And again, impulse correction, impulse correction, impulse correction, impulse correction. It's been a pretty healthy down draw. We still need another, 23 pips. It definitely can overtake that area. And again, this would be kind of more of a yen weakness. And again, if they mention raising interest rates, that should technically be negative for the yen. And again, that could also propel us higher. So we will see. Like I said, right now it's been pretty much one-sided in that trend to the downside and been a pretty healthy kind of response. So I still think 84.48, 83.51 are the two levels that we're looking for. Again, any type of a pop, again, get your profits before you get out here up at 84.40. But I think that's still decent levels. And again, not a bad drop. Ideally, it is the deep candle, although I don't like the green as low, but that's the best we got right now as far as the 30-minute candles go. Euro pound. So Euro pound, we were looking to see if this was going to be the top and have it collapse lower. It did not. And you can see we had another level up here. And again, not the cleanest. It's a pretty big basing level. So let's go back up and find a larger time frame zone on this one. It looks like we do have one that kicks in right about here in that level. Whoops, I don't need that anymore. Let's pull this back up top. And again, is this set on a 4-hour basis for a parabolic retracement? Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. We have only about another 10 pips to go on this one. They got about 2 hours left. So again, if we have any slowing at the end of the day, but you can see this is definitely a big difference. A very strong impulse, a very tiny correction. And again, in the middle of a racetrack, very big push again. So, this is a 4-hour level. We know sellers have stepped in here in the past. It is starting to approach that middle zone though. So, it's kind of in an area where it's like, yeah, maybe we start thinking rollover. But again, we need some stabilization. We just don't necessarily have that yet. Dropping it down to an hourly, you can see that, we had this little kickback here, but again, it was just a continuation in that racetrack of a push up, a pullback to grab more buyers, and then a continued push forward. So we'll remove these two levels. They don't matter. We can get rid of this. But I would say right now, there's our tops and bottoms. And even then, let me see on this 30-minute. 1, 2. Yeah, I mean this is technically hit number 3, so it's not even like the freshest level. Um, it's not even like the greatest level above it. I'm just trying to see where we get our next level in. Probably here. Let's put probably there's our next. Probably our next level up top. Okay. So yeah, so we'll see what this one does. If this one stabilizes or pushes in and then pulls back, again, look for a potential short to the downside on that one. All right, 86.62-ish range. Let's get it and put it there. Okay. That one will still push across. That's for another pot later. Let's clean these up. Even though it's not my resources, it's their resources. That's good. All right. Hold on one sec, guys. Crap, person hung up. I missed it. One sec, guys. Oops. I think that's sent. All right. All right. Yeah, it's just more lacrosse craziness. All right. So yeah, it looks like we're gonna try to attempt to get in here. And like I said, we need to bounce off this level. Yeah, it's only 8 more pips, so we need a little bit of a bounce. I'm curious, was there something G20 wise that they mentioned? Okay. So again, some good data. Some good data. Increased bond buying. Okay. Yeah, so far all good stuff at ECB right now. They're just continuing to lump in the good stuff. So we'll see. Again, we need that pullback, and then that's where we go for the push. So it's not there yet. But this should be, again, this is a 4-hour zone, although hit number 3 is going to hurt us. But we'll see. This is a bigger area of sellers in here as we're approaching it right now. Okay. We'll stop back to this one later on. Euro yen. So again, euro yen, we had the trade yesterday, right? We hit that 30.50 and dropped like a rock off of it. Since we entered that area again, we are doing a little bit more chop back and forth. You can see it a little bit more on the 30-minute. You know, we got close. We kind of touched it here, pulled back down again, came up, pushed back and left the area again, pushed up. So again, we're at the stage now where you're expecting this to break and go higher. Let's see what we got. Yeah, unfortunately that one's there, and then it's like way back here. I don't think we can see it. Let's see 4-hour wise. Nope. Can't even see it. Let's go back to daily. There we go. All right. And see, this is where it gets interesting. So look at this. On a daily basis, price is right here right now. We're getting into this kind of chopping area. We do have sellers coming in. But unfortunately, we can't really pull a decent level off of it. I think we're going to wait till we get to the extreme on that one. I think that's going to be the best bet. Let's see. This is the level I'm talking about. We're getting ready to enter into this right here. Again, that is from here to here. And then the next real like clean level, I would say, is here to here on a daily basis. And again, touch and touch. So that's probably a better one. Let's see what we got. Got to lock that down. Drop back down to 30-minute. There we go. So at this point, I mean, we got to almost treat this one like it's a kind of all-time high, even though it's obviously not. Looking for this one to come through. Now, this level here, again, we could probably find a base and a push higher and use this as some type of a level. But right now, I'm going to see if we can get a little bit cleaner of a base. We have one here, like, right? We have this here, kind of our established level, but I guess we did go a little bit lower. So kind of have to take it from there. That may be kind of the new level we're bouncing off of, right? It actually may have been this one, but we don't really have a clear indication. I would say right now on this one though, I would continue to go higher until we put a new top in. You can see that we have a zone here, but this is hit number 3, arguably, kind of getting to that 4th hit, and it's a big level. I mean, we're on a 30-minute chart now that was done on the 4-hour and the daily. So again, huge level here. You're talking about 66 pips. We're not taking that for a short. But look for this to kind of bounce and kind of roll back to the downside, right? But right now we're waiting for kind of one of these tops, some type of an indication that the top is in. Wait for it to kind of, that profit taking to occur. Wait for it to pull back, come back up, and then take that one short. But we're not there yet. Euro dollar. Let's see. Euro dollar had a decent rally. This one, again, we didn't really have anything on the top side. Let's bring it up to a 4-hour and find something decent in there. You can see we're in this racetrack, so we know we don't really have anything until up top here. We're sitting more or less, I guess here would be probably the best area on a 4-hour basis. Zone's probably a bit large. Yeah, it's about 19. It's all right. It's not bad. But that's the last time we have any true sellers coming back in again. Let's see on an hourly if I can shrink that a bit. Not really. A little bit, I guess. That's probably fine right there. All right, so that gives us at least a top on this one. All right, now same kind of setup. This one's about 35 pips away. Can it run 35 pips from now to FOMC? Yeah, probably. But it's kind of getting at that stage where it's getting a little bit risky. It's kind of pushing it a little bit far. But again, that would be an area here where we could potentially take, oops, not that one. We could potentially take a short off of that for FOMC, right? Looking for that to roll back down again. I would say the 1795 or 1800 or 18 is probably fine for a profit target to the downside. And again, on an hourly basis, we need to move just a bit more till right here is where this one would kind of roll. And I'm curious to see if this right here is what we're looking at. Something along those lines. All right. And again, we know we have basing here, right? So we know that that'll be an area where buyers step in and try to support this one. So profit target wise, if we can get in, it will make the 1 to 3 as well. Let's see. 1 to 3. Ooh, it's close. 1 to 3 is right there. Okay. So again, decent level if we push up into that zone. But I think that's decent for FOMC today. And again, I do think we will get some retracement. I don't think the U.S. is not in that horrible position. And like I said, anything hawkish will take this and drive this straight down today. And that's what I think we're going to have. I'd be very surprised if they were extremely weak. It's kind of hard to say that, oh, yeah, bad stuff, right? We're in a bad position. We're hiring way too many people back and giving jobs. It's just not one of those things. So pound yen, you can see, is just collapsing through the floor. Now, we did hit that little second zone here. We had the two zones on top of each other. We hit that one at about the European Open this morning, right around that 2 o'clock window, and took a nice bounce higher. And again, what did it do? It grabbed an area where you would expect to see sellers, right? Came in, grabbed the pullback right here, and continuing to push lower, right? At this point, both these levels are blown. I would say this is a one for a Harry Potter if we can get a basing and pullback on this one, but the pound is just getting decimated at this point. The next clean level we have is sitting down here. And when I say clean, it's kind of in the middle of the area. It's not hasn't been tested yet, so it's kind of an unknown. But 150.67 I think is decent, as well as there's one a bit lower on this one. I think if you're short, either of these two can be profit targets today. The pound will start slowing down, but again, FOMC will affect the yen. So it's something that you definitely need to be watchful for, right? It could definitely take this one crazy. What happened? What? Did you hit a button? No, you didn't hit a button. You tired of sitting in bed by yourself? Uh-huh. Can you say hi, everybody? No, say hi, everybody. You hungry? Yeah? You gotta wait for a little bit. Oh, hold on. I gotta situate the princess here. All right. I'll get you a bar in a little bit, okay? Your cereal's over there. You want your cereal? Hey, your cereal's over there. You want your cereal? No? Okay. So either of these two, I think, are decent profit target levels. Look, right over there on your desk. Look, you see on your desk? Go ahead. Go get your cereal on your desk. Go get it. She has this Paw Patrol backpack that she wears everywhere now, and it weighs like 30 pounds because she keeps putting everything she owns in it. But she can't leave the room and go to another one without it. What? There you go. Come here. Sit on Daddy. Come eat your... You want it over here? No, their daddy can't sit over there right now. There, I moved my sweatshirt for you. She's very bossy, if you guys can't tell. Yeah. Debbie, I try. I try. Mhm. And yeah, the ultrasound went well yesterday for anybody that was wondering. All the parts are where they're supposed to be, and they're all the right sizes. Um, Doctor's like, "Well, this bone is good, and this bone is good, and this bone is good, and this the foot dimension is good." And I'm like, "Okay, I don't know what any of these things mean, but sure." I guess the first one is just to check for. I guess it's for the first one's like for downs. They check like the size of the bone on the neck, and then the amount of fluid behind it versus this other bone and the fluid around that. And both everything. She's like, "Nope, everything looks great. It's all everything's the right size." I'm like, "Okay." And I'm like, "Here's the foot. And the head dimension is fine. The belly dimension was fine." So it was good. Exactly, Ernest. Women in bags. So yeah, I think we have the next appointment on like a month from now or something like that. I don't know because Jen had the brain thing, so they're like, "Oh yeah, we'll do more, more things." I was like, "All right, whatever." So either of these two levels, like I said, I think they're more profit targets than decent levels for buying. I know we've mentioned this level before, but down south, down here on the 30-minute, I think is the next real kind of buying opportunity, or like one that I really like. I like it that it's slow. I like it that it's tested. It's in the bottom of the curve down here. We obviously have much room to run for this one, but again, just keep it on your keep it on your chart. It doesn't cost anything to keep it on the chart, right? Leave it down there, and that one will come in at 148.76. I think is the next area where it's like we got to be looking for buys in this one, right? Next appointment is when you will see the other. No, it's only one. Trust me. They actually told Melissa, they're like, "Yeah, you're very tiny." Like I was like, they're like, the baby kept reacting. She's like, "Yeah, you're not very big, so the baby can feel the pressure of the ultrasound because they get pushing on the baby. Like the baby's head was cranked sideways." I'm like, "Should we really be bending the baby's head like that?" And there was a training person there. They're like, "Do you mind if the student, tries?" And we're like, "Yeah, whatever." You know. So they're letting the student like push on Melissa. And Melissa's not very big. I think she weighed in yesterday at like 99 pounds. So I mean, she's not a very big person. So yeah, she doesn't really even look pregnant. But yeah, she's 13 weeks and 4 days. We'll be 14 weeks on Saturday. So we're getting there. But it was just funny. Like she's like, "Yeah, like the baby can feel the pressure." I'm like, "Well, maybe we shouldn't push on the baby then." It was funny. But anyway, two profit targets to the downside, and again, there's a little kind of small levels in here. But I think today, until we stabilize at the end of the day, again, this is still a short target. We may get a Harry Potter off one of these two in here though. But again, look for some basing on the 30-minute. That's going to be the best place to be able to find it. If we can rally up a little bit, we may get it in this area right here where we had the touch originally. It hit here and pulled back and then pushed through. Look for a grab and then a push lower. Okay, pound dollar. So pound dollar is collapsing as well. Now, this is one of those ones. I had two levels here, and I was kind of trying to figure out where to set them up. We had one test, and again, this one kind of hit and pushed through on the 30-minute. I'm kind of looking more for this lower one, and actually, there's one just a bit lower. There's kind of three in a row here. I would like to get long this position today. Again, we're about 4 hours shy before FOMC. I'm wondering if it's going to be, like I said, we're having a little bit of a pushback right now. It's about 35 more pips down to this 3706 level. Let me see. I wanted to pull Nadex up for this one as well. 3676 would be all the way down here. It's kind of messing with a different area. 3676, right in there. And what's the next one above that? 3726. All right, so there's a 3726, right, basically right there. This is going to be more messing with this little level here. But again, it's in front, not behind. So it's like, yeah, I don't think that one's going to hold. I don't think this one has. If this thing rolls at all, I mean, you can see it. We missed it within like just a few pips. I don't think that one's going to hold whatsoever. This one's already one down. I was hoping we'd be able to catch something there. Let me see a call spread on this one. Where are we at? 3706. There's a 3701. So there's a 3701 right there. right? There's a call spread right there. That one may not be horrible if we can drive in, right? If we can drive into there for FOMC, and remember, it's a weekly call spread. So remember, with the weekly call spread, again, we got 3 days to go. The dailies aren't going to work because they close at 3. That could be an opportunity to go long from there. But yeah, I don't think this knockout is not going to make it. I'm sorry, this was down here at what, 76, something like that. Was it at 76? Hold on. Pound dollar. Yeah, 37.26 or no, 76. Yeah, right there. Okay, yeah. So I think the 37.06 could be decent for the call spread. If you guys are looking for something to go to the top side. Dollar CAD. So Dollar CAD is rallying. So we're getting ready to get to a zone right now. You can see this is a zone that we've already pushed really to the brink. So you got to be a little bit cautious. It did retest that zone here again. So again, this is kind of one of those levels that I'd be willing to take a shot on just in case, if we weren't already there by FOMC. We only need to move, let's see, another 8 pips. I don't think it'll have an issue doing that. But again, this is now set up for somewhat of a 10 o'clock reversal. This one has some interesting levels. And again, it was a pretty healthy push up the way that it kind of moved with its impulses and corrections. It wasn't just like these little hiccups. It was decent pullbacks in here. And again, this one pulled back, grabbed the zone right here, and ended up, pushing higher in the early morning hours. You can see right here, about 6:30 this morning. Again, decent push higher. We are getting to a level. It is 10 o'clock right now, 10:06. So at 10:30, we could see potentially the turn and roll, kind of do one of these off of that level right there. It could. I think this is because this is a tested level. I think this 125.87. If we do reverse back, I don't think we can go all the way up and all the way back down again. And let me see. Actually, the CAD, the IVPMI should have came in. Yeah, look at that. Much better than expected. Yeah, so look at that. Not bad at all. And again, we're not seeing the movement in the CAD yet, right? That should be positive for the CAD. But again, it's seeing inflation, and that's what everybody's looking at. They're like, wait a second, you seeing inflation? Prices are going up. Kind of all eyes are on that with FOMC. But yeah, that should cause us to roll back down again. I don't know if we'll get the 125.87, but that would be a level that I'd look at again. As I said, you're seeing the decent level of basing, nice pop off of it, come back in a retest. So we know there are some buyers sitting there. Whether it can hold an FOMC being a 30-minute level, that's a bigger question. Probably not. But again, I think we can get a decent roll, at least in the morning time with that 10:30 reversal back to the downside. We do have Harry Potter trade lower. I think we should watch out for. And then again, let me bring this back up to a larger time frame. You can see that this is a level in the hourly that's kind of been front run before. But again, if we were able to push from now till then, right, 126.66 is also an area we would be willing to take short for FOMC at 2. Okay. Let me see. Not that I don't actually like dollar CAD much over on Nadex, just because I feel like the spreads are just absolutely just insanely big. There is a 126.89, which would be right 126.89 right there. Right? I missed the putt just a little bit. 126.89. Change that to purple. There you go. So we do have a knockout bracket there. So if we start messing around in this bracket, again, I don't know, maybe FOMC brings us that high, but then looking for a bit of a reversal to the downside. So like I said, it's one of those ones that I wanted to mark it off that we do have a knockout sitting kind of there for the week as something we can watch out for. All right. Dollar Swiss. All right. So dollar Swiss, again, pushing into this level at 92. We ended up, this is a level we talked about kind of running into. And again, we did hit it. It hit it, it popped. It hit it, it popped, came back down, and it kind of pushed through. So it is one of those ones we are expecting the break. It is kind of a Harry Potter type scenario, right? It was a level that we saw. That we know that we don't have any profit taking, or the next profit taking area is going to be really down here. The question is, let me see on a 30-minute, if we can get a decent level to base off of. I'd say the way that it's been basing through there, kind of, I would say kind of in here. Right? If you're looking for, some type of a trade for FOMC, I'd say you probably got, maybe these lines here, right? The 3-to-1 comes in right there. And we know the next level is not coming in till array. Do I want array? I don't know. What does array look like? Oh. I don't like the raise much. Change that. Make that a dash. There we go. Right around there. So we know we got the space to run to the downside on this one. But I think staying short this one is also not a horrible idea. Like I said, I'd like it to kind of go one more or the next candle when this one closes in 20 minutes to push the next one back up again. And in reality, I guess we could have actually shrunk this one a little bit into kind of this range here. Although with the wicks, I feel like we need to. I feel like we need to kind of. I mean, that's a 4-1 right now. And it looks like that's 5.5 to 1 all the way down. So let's see. It only needs to go to right about there. Right. Again, only fear on this one is this one will just continue to push. We haven't really gotten the clean pullback to it. So yeah, but again, we ended up hitting the level so many times. Hit it, based in it. You're waiting for a break. It gave us the sideways bounce. We kind of need to pull back up a little bit and drop lower. So if we can come back up, it's there. If not, I mean, it's probably not necessarily a horrible position to take this one south. I don't know if there's anything. Let me see something real quick. Forex, dollar Swiss. Where are we? 92.87. Nah, it's moved way too much already. Oh, it's moving too much. I was like, there's a call spread in there right now. There is a call spread with a ceiling of 92.90, which again is kind of right around that level. I missed this one, but this would have been one we could have grabbed. Some milk? What do you mean milk? You want milk? Okay, you need to wait a couple minutes. 92.90. Yep, there's a call spread right there. Yeah, to the downside. That one's been, not horrible. Like I said, we're down here at 70 already. It's moved about 13 pips to the downside. So, yeah, that would have been a call spread. Again, I didn't catch this one. Doing this stuff with Todd, unfortunately, I missed that one. Dollar yen is the next one. So again, dollar yen, we're waiting for this to break higher. Basically, we're waiting for up or down, right? We're waiting for this. I mean, again, they did come back up and test on the 30-minute. It has hit 3 times already at this point. We did push back up, and now it is rallying lower, although we know we do have some buyers stepping in right about here, right, by the way that looks. I would say I wouldn't be willing to take this one long. I would wait for this to drop down to 102.26. And again, it's probably going to need FOMC's push for that one. That would be about 38 pips. We can move that low, again, if we can get there. But I'm also waiting for the break of 110. I think if we can break above 110, as I mentioned in the Nadex, I think we can get up into this 110.48 area. Again, your 3 to 1 ends up right around here, around the 26-ish range or 30-ish range. I'd say probably take this one up to 30 at least there. But again, this one has the power if we can break 110 to get up into this range pretty safely, which is about 47 pips to the top side. That gives us a 5 to 1, a 1 to 5. 1 to 5.5, so not necessarily a bad thing if this comes back up. And again, we have our 1, 2, 3, and number 4 through, so we don't expect this level to hold again. Again, mentioned that one earlier. Run that one to the top side. All right, let's run over to the indices. I don't know what they did, but let's go through. All right, so again, mentioned this one, 30-minute, drop it down to a 15. We had the small levels down here. That's all we hit, really. 9 o'clock, 9:15, 9:30. Right, this one hasn't done much. It was a little bit low, and again, range bound, and this is expected. Right now, you can see that we're kind of stuck more or less in this level right here. And again, people will play the break of this bottom, and you could, right? We could say that we have a level sitting here, right? A level of basing that's been tested a few times. If we can break below that, again, you could say that, there'll be a short position sitting right here. Right there, right? When we break, and that would bring price back down into the 40-36 range. But right now, we're literally skirting right down the middle. We've had a little bit of buyers up top, a little bit of sellers kind of supporting us on the bottom. Being in that it's 10:15 right now, I don't know. I mean, we're less than 4 hours from FOMC with no other real news. I mean, crude oil in 15 minutes maybe affects us a little bit, but I think you definitely got to watch out for really kind of the talk. And again, remember, anything hawkish, anything about raising interest rates, anything about, the dollar, anything about speeding up, the economy's better than expected. All those, I mean, while those are all great things, The second anybody mentions raising interest rates, that makes it harder for the overall indices. And again, that should bring us right back down again. So, there could be a potential trade on this one. But again, make sure we're getting profit by this little basing area here, right around what 40.36. Okay. NQ. NQ ended up going through its little area, and again, that spike happened. Here's the opening spike. I mean, it would have been more of something we wanted long. I'd say kind of the same idea, right? I mean, we're obviously bracketed in. I would say we have cells sitting up in this level right here, right? If we can power that high, but 13,676, decent level. It has the same level of basically we're stuck in this little bracket, right? Came high, low, 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 and we're back in the middle again. Kind of the same thing, right? It's just going to be stagnant until we get our FOMC data coming out. Could you take this one short from the same level? Sure. I mean, if you really wanted to, you could take that one short. Kind of the same thinking, running it back down again. It would be a break of this level here, down. And kind of the same thing. I'd want to get my profit out probably by this level here, right? It'd be here. And ideally, we'd want this to kind of pull back to there. Actually, I guess I should move this over here. Something along those lines. All right. NQ is the only one that really has a decent top put in it, by the way. Here's YM, kind of the same thing. There's a small level here we talked about. Again, there's a bunch of small levels in here. None of these were super clean, though. And again, here is your 9 o'clock. 9:30 was here. So it already started to move. It came back up, grabbed some sellers here, and then pushed right back in. So same thinking, still in that same kind of, really, I guess I'd draw it from probably here, kind of like this. But I mean, if you wanted to shrink it, you could say that, hey, listen, there's really been the kind of tops and bottoms, so a little bit of a trick, right? And we're sitting smack in the middle of that same level again. Interesting enough, hold on, I'm going to see something real quick. Wanted to see, yeah. So even with that spike, you can see that it's getting really, really firm. And look, and again, what I do is I throw a Bollinger Band on there to see, based off of kind of the recent moving average, you can see that price is just above that middle area. And again, if it wasn't for the opening spike, right, the YM spike that literally went up and came right back down to where it started, we're sitting right in that middle area, right? Middle, 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 middle. And again, spike down, pierce that came back up, and we're sitting right at the middle. So, yeah, we'll see where this one goes. It's funny though, look, down, back up, down, 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 came back up, came to the far side, came across, far side, far side, far side, middle, down, far side, middle. So it's funny how the Bollinger Bands work, but it hasn't really left the area. So I'm not telling you guys to use that to trade off of. I was curious to see based off of how this really comes back in the same area. It's the same spot. So yeah, not much. There's nothing even really great up here. Let me see. Mm, I don't even really like much in this one. No, there's not much in there. This would have been that one there. Unfortunately, the top on this one is just not good. There's not much we can do with the top of that, unfortunately. All right, let's jump across to oil. All right, so oil stuck again at that 59 mark. As you guys can see, we talked about kind of grinding lower. Let's see, let me drop down to lower time frame. We'll go to 15-minute. Oof, it is, look at that. There's your 59 level. We literally dropped down at 9 o'clock and then have just held. Right? Oof. It's trying. It's eating all those sellers up. So yeah, I would say keep the 57.60 on our radar. Based off how this one is rolling. Man, that thing is just stuck. Let me see if they've updated anything on here yet. Okay, they hadn't released it early yet. Man, that sucks. I hate when they're like this. And again, this is kind of what our intraday curve is looking like right now. And look, we're just skirting right down the middle. It's not even really at a level we can trade it off of right now. Problem is we had such a big drop in price at this 9 o'clock candle, right? I mean, again, it was up, we based through at this level and then drop right back down to where we were. Problem is we're clear on the way up, right? We know that we have a free run to the top side. At this point, we've pushed down into this lower level and it drove pretty deep. I mean, I would say at this point we're almost clear till down here. Hmm. Man, that's rough. That is like that's like 45 minutes of garbage. I mean, that 59 level held, but man. Huh, huh, huh. I mean, it's not even giving us anything decent. Hmm. I think this is going to have to be a post one. Yeah, this is not set up for a news release right now. And again, we got 10 minutes. It should have been driving towards a level, and it's literally just stuck. I mean, it's in a level, right? But it's a level that's been tested and pushed literally to the brink multiple times at this point. I mean, we pushed it to the brink here. We came back down. We went about halfway through. The level is actually a little bit lower down here than where we are right now, and it's just stuck. The price is kind of going sideways. So, yeah, this is not going to be one I'll probably trade for news. Yeah, it's just not giving us enough movement. So probably what I'll do is I'll look for this one to move top or bottom. Let's see how much does it need to move. $1.48, $1.62. That's a lot. That's going to have to be a big miss to get to either one of those two sides. I'm wondering if we're going to have to shrink this a bit for FOMC. Because again, remember there'll be a little bit of FOMC, talk of demand and things like that in recovery. I'm wondering if we're going to have to shrink this in and use those two. All right, it's driving. That's better. It's a 5-minute chart. Can we drive back into this zone? Could be the question. Let me see real quick. Not that I expect we have a knockout here. Commodities, knockouts, oil. Are you shaking your head now? You don't believe this is going to work? 58.80. No, not even anything remotely close there. 59.79. Nope. Okay, so we're not even close on a knockout. So knockout is not going to work for this one. Crude oil. 10 to 12. Where are we at? 59. Basically, we're currently at 59.06. There is a 59 strike in there. Let's see. Ouch. 34 on the top side, 28 on the downside. No. All right. So, man, I got so much premium jacked into this one. It's pretty unfortunate. Yeah, go to that level. Go to that level. Go to that level. 31 though. God, they're on crack. Man, I don't know. Why are you guys doing this? Let me see. I'm looking at binaries right now. We're at 59. Holy crap. Even in the 2-hour binaries. Ouch. There's a 59.60. Well, it's got $31 worth of risk, which is a lot. There's a 60 with the 60s up here. Hmm. 59.60. Oh, that's not what I want to do. What did I say? 59.60 would be there. Then there's a 61, or I'm sorry, 60 flat, which would be there. Those are dailies. But we're not quite in that zone. Let's see what we've got downside. Is that one worse? Oh, that one's much better. There is a oh, no, that one's much worse. Never mind. We're at 59. Man, they're even worse to the downside. Holy crap, why is there so much premium in these things today? So much premium stacked in. Yeah, there's not much we can do with that one. Unfortunately, there's so much premium jacked in. Yeah, it's God, it's driving me crazy that it's stabilized, but it's stabilized for this long. Um, let's see. Now I'm curious if I can put a squeeze on. Let's see, 60. Man, this one's rough. Like, there's a ton of premium jacked in, but I wouldn't say that any of these are like earth-shatteringly great. 58 would be here. That one's interesting. That would be 20. Oh, that's not bad. 20 and 20. Maybe not. It'd have to be 60. Ugh, man, there's just too much in this one. It'd have to be a sell. God, why are they messing this up for us? Yeah, no, we're not gonna be able to pull something on this one. Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, unfortunately, that one's not gonna work, guys. All right, let's go to across the gold. We'll see how that one comes out in a little bit. I really want to get that trade put on there, but we just really can't find much. So here's gold on a 30-minute chart. So gold came off the 1729 level. It's a level we talked about. It was tested. It's got a lot of junk up in here, though. Like I said, the 1742 range. Uh, this is going to be a little bit harder to play as well, too, because we kind of pulled back in the middle. So I think right now, I mean, our kind of intraday curve level is here, but I don't really feel that either of these two levels is going to be able to hold an FOMC. If they talk about seeing inflation, I definitely feel like it could jump up about 10 points. Um, the big thing we need to do on this one is be able to hold. If we can come up to this level and then start to stabilize during FOMC, after the meeting notes are out, if we come up and stabilize here, then yeah, there's the opportunity for it to roll back down again. But what we don't want to do is just kind of grab this one on the first kind of hit, because I'm afraid that if there's a great reaction, it's like, oh, it's good. And then they read more into it. It has the potential to kind of pause and just go higher. We really need kind of somewhat of a confirmation. Because again, we've only had forecasted inflation. If they mention seeing actual inflation, I feel like that's where this one's going to have some issues. So, unfortunately, this one has gotten quite ugly. Very, very wicky, not very clean movement. Like back here, we had better kind of pushes, right? Less wicks, more big bodies. But right now, it's kind of like, what do we do? What do we do? What do we do? Bring this back up to an hourly. You can kind of see it here. Even here, it doesn't look as great. And again, we're playing in the blue zone. We're not in the red or the green, unfortunately, with gold. So, you know, kind of one of those things. It's like, ugh. Let me see on a 4 hour. Do we have a 4 hour close? Yeah, that's originally a 4 hour. Um, I wonder if it'd be this guy up top. Go down to 2 hour. Let's go down to 1 hour. See if I can make it a little bit better. Not really. It's gonna have to stay there. It's a little bit more aggressive of a short. Um, I like the 1772 upper third. I think that was decent. Um, yeah, another kind of junky trade. Those are my two bottoms. I'd say watch it. There's buyers in here, but I don't know that I'd be willing to take a long off of that one. I don't actually like. Although I do believe that gold has the chance to go up today. I don't really. I don't think this is gonna. I don't think we're gonna get an entry, and this is way too choppy for me to pull like a decent bottom off of. Let me see on a 30-minute. Even the 30-minute, I can't really. Again, remember this is an old level that we're following. All the basing, the gap in, push up, base, 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 base. But again, we're sitting in the middle. It's like God. I hate FOMC sometimes. All right, so this one we talked about a push, and we were hoping to get down here. We were looking for longs. Unfortunately, it ran down 8 o'clock and pulled back up again. There was the short from yesterday that we talked about, the 25.22. It's kind of setting up, and it's decent, but I do feel like they're going to have to start talking about inflation at this point. Don't know if I take another hit off of this one. I don't know if it's gonna be like this. Like I said, it's hit here, it's hit here. It's only had 2, so technically it's still valid. I like this one. I like longs down here at 23, 30. I think that's fine still. But we've pulled so far away at this point. Let me see if we have a knockout. 25.81. It's all the way up there, so that's not going to work. No, these are 125, so these will all be done before FOMC anyway. So, we're not going to be able to trade this. Let's see. Binary, commodities, silver, weekly. Want to see if there's potentially anything decent in here. 24.75. It's not horrible. There's a weekly binary for this one that ends right here. Just a little bit lower. 24.75. For about $25 worth of risk. $24 worth of risk. That could be an interesting one to take too. I do feel like they're going to talk about inflation today. I don't know. Maybe we see what this one goes for after FOMC. If they say that they're seeing inflation and we start seeing it hit 25 and starting to kind of roll over a little bit, maybe we look for a short on this one to the downside after FOMC. So maybe we hold this one until over here and see what we can get for it. Again, it should suck a little bit of premium out of it. Not tons, but it should suck a little bit out. Maybe we look for that, to pull back down again, and that would be a drop of, about 30, 40 cents. All right, let's go back to oil. I'm going to see what oil's doing. What was the number for oil? All right, minus 3.5, which, again, should be good for oil, which is fine. You're seeing oil move a little bit off that lower, that 59 level again. Is it going to be enough, though? What was it, 3.5? 2, they expected to come in higher. It's probably going to move a bit. I'm trying to see statistically. No, negative. No changes. This may rally up a little bit. I don't know that we're going to get up to 60. Whoops. Whoa, Jinjin. Can't hit the keyboard. Yeah, I would say I expect probably a little bit of a push up, right? Maybe a little bit of a push up. If we can get up to here before FOMC, maybe we have a bit of a rollover, but I don't think that's a big enough miss when everybody expected it to be a little bit bigger. It's a decent miss, but I don't know. I'd say up, but I don't necessarily love anything in this one right now. Unfortunately, the knockouts and everything were just so completely jacked up on this, and the premium was super, super high, and that's not enough of a miss. I mean, expecting -2, knowing it's going to come in a little bit worse at 3.5. I just don't think that's going to be. I don't think we're going to have like a dollar, $1.50, $1.80 move from now till FOMC. FOMC is going to suck a lot out of it today. Okay. All right, so that's the last one. Natural gas looks like it's having a heck of a day, right? Go natural gas. It looks like this one is getting ready to roll and flip as well. Yeah, it kind of went up to a zone here on the 30. Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if natural gas. And again, natural gas dropping would make sense. TLT is down. VIX is up 3% today. What else we got? Apple up a little bit. Tesla down 1%. Kind of crawling. We need to drop back down here to this level. Come on, go. You can do it. Actually, we need to go all the way back down to here again. Go back into the 500s. Yeah, so that's it. Like I said, oil, Looks like it's halting right now. Again, yeah, it's stuck. Look at this. It's stuck. Yeah, it's not enough of a move. All eyes are on FOMC. So what I would do is again, watch these two. Right, I think this one's going to be important to watch. Let me go back up to a 30-minute. ES, like I said, we're rallying close to the top side. I think that's pretty decent. Again, we don't have the drop through. It's still pulling away, which is fine. We're cool with that one, but we're looking for 13,676. And then again, look, we're smack in the middle. We had a big spike up and then a spike back down again, and we're kind of still pulling in the middle. So for YM. Okay, so again, look at like 1 o'clock, 1:30. Start looking to see where we've pulled into. If you've been able to kind of rally up, or even rally back down again. If we push over here or rally back up into either of these two extremes, it could be giving us an indication of where this is going to go or where people think it's going to go. But right now, 10:30 in the morning, FOMC in 3.5 hours. There's just not much there. So it is what it is. All right. So with that said, let's go ahead and do the drawing for today. Looks like we got 6 people in. Let's pull this down. Let's pull this over to here so you guys should be able to see it. Remember, Marina won yesterday. So she's going for her 100 pitch ups, right? It's 25, 100, 250. And we'll see what she does with it. I'll give you guys about another 30 seconds. When this goes at 8, I will go ahead and close it down for the day. Ernest got in there with his 2. S. Bishop is in with 1. Rozeki 1. Everybody else is in for 1 today. Everyone's like, yeah, I'll give Marina a chance. Ernest is like, well, I got a free one, so let me just, let me see if I can increase the odds and statistics just a bit. All right. 3, 2, 1, boom. All right, look at that. Perfect at 8. All right, here we go. Winner of today's drawing is that Silent? Silent got one in there? Look at that. Silent snagging it at the last second. Winner of today's drawing is Ernest. Look at that. Ernest stops her. 18%. Nura had that typed. Let's see who's going to win the second one. Whoops, no. Give me the first loser. First loser was Sean. Look at that. Look at that. But Ernest started hitting an 18% chance, almost a 20% chance. So, that's fair. That's fair. Sometimes you got to spend a little bit extra to win a little bit extra, right? Let's give Ernest his 25. And again, Ernest spends them, but, he loses them too. It's all good. It's all good. All right. So that's it, guys. We're good till FOMC time. Like I said, I think things, look at this. It's stopped and stabilized. 25 or no, you only get 25. Why would you get 100? Moreno won yesterday. 2.5 for you. No, it was your first win. Moreno won yesterday. Why would you get 100 pip chips? I still, by the way, do not see any recipes, Ernest, in the Discord channel. Oh, it is? You're right. It is Wednesday, Sean. Wow. You're right. I guess I need to give Ernest. Look at that. Sean, he was asking for 25 or 100, not 50, but now I got to give him an extra bit. Here, I'll drag this down. Here we go. Let's go back. I'll give him his extra ones. Oops, not that one. Leaderboard. Let's give him his extra. You're correct. It is Wednesday. I forgot it was Wednesday. He should donate 25 to you, Sean, for saving him. Look at that. See, Ernest didn't even remember. He didn't even remember. How funny is that? Right? He did not even remember. Oh, look, this is creeping up higher. 70%, 67, 81, 60, 57, 55. Yeah, so it looks like, man, gold. Everybody's going long gold. It's better than it was. It's better than it was. Yeah, Sean, he should at least tip you. Right? Sean, think about it. At a casino, right? If you win big, don't you normally tip the dealer? Right? Even though the dealer has nothing to do with it, don't you tip the dealer? I feel like Ernest should figure out how to tip it. Always jacking my pip chips. I feel like he should figure out how to tip you pip chips, boy. That's what I feel like should happen. I've got a couple more things here in news analysis. I was looking for this one. It's all good. All right. Let me see. Is there any big headlines just popped? Dollar CAD. Yeah, we know that one. Snap in a downtrend. Aussie second quarter opportunities. Volatility. Farm reserves. No, we're really just waiting. WTI means it's lost. President Biden's what? Include additional 400 billion clean energy tax credits not specified in it. Wow, look. Later reporting confirmed that the APG would include an additional 400 billion in clean energy tax credits not specified in the original announcement. Imagine that. They're trying to sneak extra stuff in that nobody announced in the first little bit. Lovely. And they wonder why. I don't know if you guys saw it or not. The Democrat, Machin, whatever, the West Virginia guy, he goes, "Yeah, I won't sign the bill. I'm not signing the bill in its current form. I'm not happy with it. I won't sign it, and they need me." And the Republicans were all like, "Yeah." So, all right, cool. I'm out of here, guys. It's 10:40. I'm going to go get the girls some breakfast. I will catch you guys tomorrow. If you need me for anything, message me on Discord. I'll catch you later.